Hey guys, and me, I suppose. Um, yeah, I've not done one of these or posted a blog or anything in quite some time. Um, I've had like random bits of inspiration where I've got various things that I do want to post eventually, sort of part way written. But as I think a lot of people can appreciate is you're not always in that like inspirational mood where how you're able to effectively put your thoughts on paper and then read, the way that they are. And I feel like a lot of the time there's a lot of frustration when I've gone back into right. I'm going to sit down now for 2 hours and go through and try and finish these off, and it's just like I find that I rewrite things, certain lines and paragraphs and stuff over and over, read them through, and I'm just like, no, this doesn't. I'm now just trying to shoehorn words in here to finish this. This isn't actually how I think. um, which I'm sure a lot of people have done. So it's just one of those things. Whereas I think today has been a day where I've had a modicum of oomph, I guess, about me. Um, so I thought, yeah, I'll just do a little mini vlog, and yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I guess where I've kind of got to, and sort of the crux of this one is, um, I've always had periods where like I've kind of run things in life happen, right? And we have our own coping mechanisms. Some people, overly reach out to people maybe that they haven't seen in a long time, or they try and keep themselves super busy with throw themselves into work, or whatever we may do. Everyone is different. My thing has always kind of been to isolate myself. Um, Kind of like how the image of a cat is. A dog will come up to you and like whimper and cuddle into you and stuff, whereas a cat's like usual thing is to go off, lick their wounds is the expression, right? And then when they're sufficiently back to healthy again, they carry on, kind of thing. And that's usually the way that I've been through my life, which I've kind of learned more through the years is potentially a traumatic response, and it's also um, pretty difficult on everyone else because going from someone who, on a good day, when I'm in good spirits and stuff, it's been a while since I've been like this, but I'm silly. I'll make a fool of myself. Um, I don't know, bubbly, friendly, an introvert, so people drain me. But I, usually on a good, when I'm in a good place, want to be around people, especially the people I love and what have you. And the difficulty is the juxtaposition of that Josh, and then when I'm hurting or processing things that have happened, um, is that I should completely shut off. And obviously that's difficult because there's a stark contrast, and it's a pretty human reaction to take that personally. Um, Despite the fact it's not personal, like from my side of things, but nonetheless, I feel like a part of maturing and growing up and growing as a person is to try and, you know, it's easy to understand our own points of view because they are our own points of view, right? That's how we come to them in the first place. But understanding that if I all of a sudden go quiet when people are trying to check in or reach out or just communicating, day to day about things, whether it's things that need to be done or plans or whatever it may be, and I just shut off because I kind of go into, and I don't use this term lightly or in a literal sense, but I sort of am in a position of like paralysis in terms of communication, um, where everything is just because I focus all my energy on whatever has got me to this position in the first place in life. Thinking over and over again through the scenarios, different um, iterations of it, or what it could mean, to try and create some closure, um, or just generally work what the hell's going out so that I can. But yeah, I think it boils down to closure, like getting to a point. So I focus all my energy on doing the things that the bare minimum we need to do in life. So, well, I don't need to be, whether that's brushing your teeth or making sure you drink enough water in the day or whatever like that. We all fail on certain of these things, but we have a basis to life, right, to exist. And the rest of the energy or whatever goes on trying to hyper fixate and focus and process whatever's going on so that I have an answer, which is draining. But at the same time, the outside view on that is that I go radio silent, which yeah, it's not a great way. I wish I did. I wish my way of dealing with stuff was different, but it is who I am, and that's something I've got to try and work on and understand, I suppose. But I guess where I'm getting to with that that's getting too long is like for whatever reason I've always kind of got back up, and whether it's been I've needed a few hours to do that or a day or maybe it's a week. There have been the last time me and my ex split and I moved away, I think I gave myself about a week where I was, if you want to order takeaway and you can afford it, order whatever you want. If you want to buy drinks and get drunk, do whatever you want. Like nothing like ridiculous, but just you the lot's gone on. Don't be so cruel or harsh to yourself. Give yourself some time and within reason. Um, and then you sort of do that, have a bit of whatever, a blowout, whether it's playing too many video games or whatever it may be. Um, and you come back at the other side and then crack on with life because it does go on and we've got responsibilities and things. This time, I don't know, it got to sort of from March till now, really, and a job that I was really hoping. So I got a new job um, in February. It was a big step up for me in terms of everything. So like pay, responsibility. It was along the lines of the career that I had been working in over. I'd sort of, but since like 2018, I'd been within that sector and gaining experience and stuff. So this was like a really big opportunity for me. And I was like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that has been going on recently that's not great in life, but I could really use this as like a stepping stone. And then kind of TLDR with that, it wasn't the right job for me at all. There was no way I was going to be able to be the person they wanted, despite my effort. So probation ended, and we sort of walked. We went our separate ways. Like it was like a mutual thing. Like they wouldn't want me because I wasn't the person they needed in the role, and I wouldn't have wanted to stay because of various reasons. But yeah, my foundation kind of disappeared at that point, and I think in hindsight, I put this was going to be the stepping stone, the foundation that I can push off of, and kind of do what I did 3 years ago when we split and I moved out and started again. Um, Except this time, it didn't go that way, and then I was kind of like, well, not I have nothing else left, but in terms of like routine and stuff, I'm just in this room, so it's very easy when you don't have significant portions of time of routine. So like having to be fixated on work, even though it's in the same room, which presents its own difficulties. It was a period of my day that was set aside, and it kind of that went away, and then all of a sudden, it's kind of like life is freestyle almost. So I continued. I'd started the gym again to try and keep that into a bit of routine, and um, it was a bit like a domino effect. So eventually, the job went rather than do what I'd done in the past and immediately, or at least the next morning, give myself the afternoon or whatever, get my updated CV out, start being proactive, calling up contacts that I've sort of built in terms of the area that I've specialised in, and updating job boards, just covering all bases effectively like I normally would, whilst carrying on with all the other things, the routine at home, doing breakfast with my daughter, spending time with her on the week, like all the normal things. Um, I was just in this room, and kind of my my hope and savior, I suppose, for that period disappeared in like an instant. Um, and I just didn't. I don't know. I just kind of gave up everything else, and I was like, I haven't really got out of that since. It's kind of really difficult to explain. I'm not really good at explaining it now, to be honest, and this is months later, but it just becomes a domino effect. You've got no income, so financial stress starts getting involved, behind on rent. Um, my car's not on the road currently, which again then removes freedom in order to go to interviews and see my daughter and that kind of thing. It's just an additional thing, but it kind of created a domino effect, like I said, and I just didn't have it in me for whatever reason. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Where I've managed to cling on and kind of grind through before, um, I just haven't this time. And even like sitting here now, I suppose before this goes too long, I'll sort of try and wrap this one up. Today has been by no means, I don't. It's not been a good day, but in contrast to some of the days and the average, I suppose, rolling average and stuff, I've got some things done today. I've got I've made plans to not just be in this room on my own. I went for a walk, which I haven't done in like a week and a bit. Those very, very small things, which would normally just be, you know, inconsequential to my routine of a year ago, are now like massive things, and um, it's really chastening, I suppose, to kind of realize, I guess, how far a fallen sounds really like. That sounds like a bloody Michael Bay ending to a film. But just how maintaining basic things have become very hit or miss, and on any given day, like I'm just already thinking now, and kind of the anxiety is there of I'm expecting tomorrow to be a worse day than today already. I'm trying, like, even as I'm saying that, I'm trying to not think that way, but I have nothing to get me up in the morning. I know I will do some work stuff tomorrow, but I think everything's just become so free for all and free fall that you get to a point where there's enough holes in the boat where you can't prioritize what needs to be done, and it feels like, well, what's the point in me even doing this, because there's 14 other things that I need to sort out, and there's no way on hell that I'm going to be able to wake up tomorrow and sort them all out. um, yeah, it's a rough one. It's not for saying this for like sympathy, it's just this has been one of the only days where I've even wanted to talk about it and kind of, I guess, admit where I've got to, and show some humility and what have you. And I guess I'm talking to myself at this point, but like I hope I sort of use these also, or have historically, to hopefully look back on, like, in a year or something like that, and go, wow, I did fall to that position, or look, how did I get to that position? But look what's happened in a year. So I'm hoping that's the case, and also, like, if anyone else has experienced this sort of similar kind of thing, or is experiencing similar, that, yeah, again, I don't know, feel free to reach out. It's definitely not done in a crying for sympathy kind of way. It's just how I roll, like how I work. So I'll leave it on that.